Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, famed German poet, playwright, and novelist, first discovered his love for literature while he was studying at Leipzig. Leipzig? Leipzig? Hold on.
Leipzig.
Leipzig. He first discovered his love for literature while studying law at Leipzig, and his writings would usher in the Sturm und Drang movement. Karl August, the Duke of Weimar, caught wind of Goethe's work and, in 1775, invited Goethe to join his court in the hopes that Goethe would assist the Weimar duchy's development into a hub of literature. Goethe accepted, but he didn't quite realize that, the courtiers would do nothing but gossip about the other royals, and they'd panic if Goethe suggested something new. All they cared about was who went where with who, and who didn't go to this or that, and what Lady So-and-so said about Lady such and such. It was a whole mess, and Goethe wasn't having any of it. But considering he had already accepted the summons and became part of the Duke's court, he had to find a way to tolerate the other courtiers. If they didn't want to hear Goethe's opinions, he thought, then Goethe just wouldn't share them. Instead, he'd stay quiet, and he'd agree to other courtiers' opinions when they decided to voice them to him. This strategy let him draw upon inspiration from the other courtiers to use in his future literary works. When I first read about Goethe and mastery, I admired his patience in dealing with people who didn't have the same values as he did, or as Green puts it, suffering fools gladly. He realized that his opinions and ideas wouldn't be valued in this crowd, and he decided to just not voice them, and instead agree with everyone else's. Taking that passive role put him in the perfect position to gather that inspiration for his characters and his dialogue for his writing, which he continued to collect by stroking the egos of the other courtiers. It's a gentle reminder that sometimes interacting with people who are inflexible in thinking is just not worth it. Goethe's implementation of social intelligence in this situation is a good indicator of two of Green's 7 deadly realities, namely conformism and passive aggression. The courtiers were all one type of person. Therefore, they began to share a mindset as they began to work together, and continued to work together. But when Goethe came along and started suggesting reforms, they got nervous, worrying about how it would affect their dukes and how the social structure at the court would change. In the film industry, there's going to be people out there who insist I use a certain method to shoot something, and if I suggest something different, they're going to be taken aback and will probably start thinking of me in a negative light. The best way to deal with this, like Goethe, is to know what opinions to express when, even if that means not expressing an opinion at all. Passive aggression is something everyone struggles with in their careers and in their lives. It's a subtle form of attack that's employed to manipulate a situation, whether it's procrastinating on a project to get someone else to do their part on it, or leaving notes for your roommates for them to take care of their dishes. Goethe uses this by appealing to the courtiers' egos. Even if their ideas weren't that good, Goethe would use the person themselves as inspiration for future character dialogues. It's a subtle way of doing research with people who don't really know what they're talking about. Passive aggression is a dangerous thing to fight against, and Green suggests either getting out of the way or returning fire in your own subtle way to try to discourage them. I feel like you may be able to talk your way out of the situation, but if they're already at the stage where they're trying to hurt you and make it seem like an accident, then that might not be the best course of action. I don't know how to end the video.